Hey guys, this is Tess. Hey everyone, this is Tess and welcome to my live session. So it's Thanksgiving in Canada, so I'm going to make a Thanksgiving dinner. So right now I'm going to do all the prep work and I wanted to share with you guys. So I have come live right now. So let me adjust my phone a little bit so that you guys can see me better. Right. All right. So this looks much better, I guess. So here I have the big bird here. So I'm going to marinate the whole turkey. So as you can see behind me, it's a whole mess out there. A lot of prep work going on right now. So first what I'm going to do is let's create the menu for today's Thanksgiving dinner. So I have the whiteboard here, so I'm going to write it down. So it's Thanksgiving menu, right? So obviously we need to have the whole roasted turkey, whole turkey. Then I'm planning for butternut squash soup. Butternut squash soup. And then my favorite cranberry peach chutney is one of my favorite side dishes that I make for Thanksgiving. Then I'll be making roasted butternut squash. And yes, we need mashed potatoes. Without mashed potatoes, we cannot have Thanksgiving. So next I'll be also doing roasted Parmesan asparagus. And what else do I have? And for dessert, I'll be making pumpkin panna cotta. So I guess that's pretty much our menu for my Thanksgiving dinner. So I have to first start with all the prep work. So I have the turkey here. Here's the big bird. I have thawed it well. I'm going to make a homemade marinade and then marinate the turkey. Butternut squash. For making butternut squash soup, I have to roast the butternut in the oven. So I'm going to do that. And cranberry peach chutney, I'm going to add all the ingredients to a saucepan and cook it for a few minutes. Roasted butternut squash, I have to keep it in the oven. Mashed potatoes, I'm going to cook the potatoes in the Instant Pot. And then I have to also bake the asparagus. And for our panna cotta, I'm going to first cook the pumpkin and then puree it. So let's get started. So here's our Thanksgiving 2020 menu. Okay, I'm going to keep this aside. All right guys, so here is the big bird. This is around 10 pounds or around 5 kilos. So this is frozen. So what I did is yesterday I kept it in the refrigerator and thawed it for like 24 hours, and I took it out of the refrigerator this morning and it was still frozen. So I poured some warm water and kept it in a huge pan, and it's almost thawed now. And so I was planning to cook the whole turkey in the Instant Pot. However, I have a 6 quarts Instant Pot. This will not fit into a 6 quart stainless steel pot, so I have to bake this in the oven. So if you have a smaller turkey, like I would say 5 pounds, then it will fit into a 6 quarts stainless steel pot in the Instant Pot. But if you have like large turkey like this, or if you have an 8 quarts Instant Pot, I think this might fit in well. So unfortunately, this is not going to fit into my 6 quarts Instant Pot. So I'm going to bake this in the oven. So first, so I have rinsed this really well under running water. I also squeezed some fresh lemon juice and rinsed it well. So next I'm going to make a homemade marinade and then marinate this big bird, massage that homemade marinade into this big bird and let it marinate for 1 hour to 2 hours. If we can, keep this overnight with the marinade, much better. It will get more flavor and it will be very aromatic. So here I'm running out of time right now, so I'm only going to let it marinate for an hour, and then for baking or roasting in the oven, as you know, it will take around 3 hours. So let me get started. Alright, so for making the homemade marinade, what I'm gonna add is, I have all the ingredients here. So this is my my recipe. You can add any kind of herbs or spices that you would like. So I'm adding 4 cloves garlic and like 3-inch sliced fresh ginger. So I like to use all fresh ingredients, and 3 green chili here. If you don't have green chili, you can skip that. I'm adding some cilantro. If you have parsley, you can add that, and some mint leaves. So next I'm also going to add some like 4 whole cardamoms. If you don't have cardamom, you can skip this. So this is more like, I'm adding some of my favorite spices and ingredients. So you can add whatever spices you have. So next, I'm going to add 2 teaspoons paprika. And then here I have some nutmeg, 1/4 teaspoon nutmeg. And then yes, we need around 2 teaspoons salt. Okay. So I'm going to also add, so this is fresh mint leaves from my herb garden. So I'm going to roughly chop them and add it. And then fresh lemon juice. So I'm going to add everything. All the ingredients are fresh here. So all these herbs and lemon juice, it will give a lot of flavor and aroma to this the turkey. So let's add that, and making sure I'm not adding any seed. Yes, this is a tough lemon. I'm trying to squeeze this and get all the lemon juice out of it. Alright, so that looks better, and I'm going to add also some ground pepper. So let me take my towel. So lots of ground pepper. I'll also season the turkey with ground pepper and salt. So this is an impromptu live session. Anyhow, I'm making a Thanksgiving dinner, so I thought I'll record this and come live so I can, show it to you guys how I do my Thanksgiving prep work. And also the next live session, after I do all the prep work, I'll show you guys how I cook everything, and then everything goes on to the dining table. Alright, so this is good. So I've added everything to this blender jar. So garlic, ginger, green chilies, paprika, whole cardamom, fresh cilantro, mint leaves, lemon juice, salt, and some nutmeg. So you can add, as I mentioned, any kind of spices, Cajun spices if you would like. Alright, and then next I'm going to also add some water, otherwise this will not blend well. So let's make a thick marinade, so don't add a lot of water. So next I'm going to blend this into a smooth paste. So here is my blender. Alright, so this is our homemade marinade. So it has blended well and it's a thick paste right now. So I'm going to, oh wow, it's a bit spicy. I'm getting the heat from the green chili. When you open the blender jar, yeah, you will get that. Alright, so next we need to massage, give a good massage to this bird with this homemade marinade. So let's do that. So I'm going to wear gloves. Since we have added green chilies, it has good heat in this homemade marinade, so it's good to wear a gloves. Alright, so here is our big bird. I have rinsed this well under running water. I also poured some freshly squeezed lemon juice and rinsed it well. So next I'm going to pour this and give this big bird a good massage. We can also add this under the skin and inside the cavity. So I want my turkey to be very flavorful and aromatic. So that's why I have added all these ingredients like fresh herbs. Mint will give a lot of aroma and flavor. Cilantro, if you don't like cilantro, you can add parsley or any kind of herbs that you would like thyme or rosemary. Literally anything can be added. Oh, this is a huge bird. This is 10 pounds. So I wanted a small turkey, but this is the smallest turkey I could find in the store. So rub it really well. Give a good massage. Right. Oops. It can get really messy when you make Thanksgiving dinner. You're working with the big bird. All right. So I have massaged the bird with the homemade marinade. So even inside the cavity you can do, so trying to rub under the skin as well. Okay, that looks good. So next I'm going to also sprinkle some ground pepper and salt. So while working with turkey, you have to wash your hands a few times. Alright, so next I'm going to also add some more freshly ground pepper. Good. So next, I have some melted butter here. I'm also going to spread that. So here's like 3 tablespoons melted butter. So going to add that also, so the butter will give nice flavor and taste to the turkey when it gets roasted. And also since we have when we add butter, when it roasts, the skin will turn golden brown in color. Oh wow, come on. So I'm not able to see the comments. So this is good. So I've massage to this bird. So next, let's marinate this for an hour. I'm running out of time right now, so I'm only going to marinate for an hour. But you know, if we can marinate this for this overnight, it will be better. You know, all the aroma and flavor from the ingredients will get into the turkey. All right, so I'm going to cover this with an aluminum foil and then let it marinate for an hour. So washing my hands well and then drying with a towel. Alright, so I'm going to cover this with an aluminum foil. And then keep it aside. Let's allow it to marinate for an hour. I'm going to keep it here. And then I'm going to clear this space right now. All right, so the bird is getting marinated right here. So next, let's what I'm gonna do is I'm going to do some prep work for my butternut squash soup. So I'm going to clear this space. For making butternut squash soup, first I'm going to roast the butternut squash in the oven. So I've taken half of the butternut squash and I have, you know, roughly, I've cut them into larger chunks and I seasoned this with ground pepper and salt. That's it. I'm not going to add any other spices because when I make the soup, I'll be adding some spices to that. So this is seasoned with ground pepper and salt. Next, I'm going to keep this in the oven. So I have already preheated the oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit or 200 degrees Celsius. So I'm going to, you know, roast this for like 30 to 35 minutes till it gets soft. No, I don't want this to be brown. Just, you know, when it gets soft, I'll take it out and then I'll add this to the soup. So I have not peeled off the skin because it's very tough. Skin of butternut squash is very tough. So after it gets roasted, it gets very soft and then we can peel this off very easily. All right, and along with this, I'm also going to roast these smaller chunks of butternut squash. So since I've already cut half of the butternut squash, you know, what I did is I went ahead and the other half I cut into smaller chunks, and to this one I'm going to add some spices. All right, so look at this beautiful color. So now this is, you know, fall and this is for Thanksgiving dinner. We need to have butternut squash. It is such beautiful, you know, orange color, so colorful and so bright. Okay, so to this smaller chunks of butternut squash, I'm going to add some rosemary. So you can add any kind of herbs, but I love the aroma of rosemary. So just roughly chop them. And this, you can also add the stems. And next to this, I'm going to add, yes, we need some freshly ground black pepper, lots of that. And then I'm also going to add some paprika. I love paprika and I tend to add these when I roast vegetables. 1 teaspoon. Again, you can add any kind of spices and herbs that you would like. And yes, we need some salt. So it's like 1 teaspoon salt. close to 1 teaspoon salt, and I'm also going to add some ground cumin. That will give a nice smoky flavor to this butternut squash. I'm going to take my cumin, it's here. You don't have to add a lot, just half teaspoon should be good. So half teaspoon of this, and we have to add some oil. So adding olive oil. If you have coconut oil, you can add that, but at this time I'm gonna add some olive oil. Perfect. Better blouse. So mix it up. So combine everything really well. So this recipe is on my blog. So if you want the full recipe, check that out. I'll also post the link in the comment section. So yeah. So I've added rosemary, paprika, ground cumin, freshly ground pepper, salt, and olive oil. It's a very simple recipe, and I love the flavor and aroma of rosemary, but you can add literally any kind of herbs and spices to this. That's it. So I'm going to roast these two together. So preheated the oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 200 degrees Celsius. So this is for my soup. I've seasoned with ground black pepper and salt, but this is our roasted butternut squash. This is one of the side dishes for my Thanksgiving dinner. So let's pop this into the oven, and let's roast this for like 35 minutes. After 35 minutes, I'll give a check. You know, this one I only want this to be like to turn soft. This one I want this butternut squash to turn a little brown. That's when it will taste good. So I'm going to keep this. It's a hot oven, so be careful. And adding the timer. Now I'm gonna add for 35 minutes. And after that, if it needs more roasting, I'll roast for 10 more, maybe 5 to 10 more minutes. All right, so that's getting done. So next, so just clearing the space. So next for our mashed potatoes. So I'm going to make the mashed potatoes in the Instant Pot. So I've tried making mashed potatoes in the Instant Pot. It was super easy to make, and you know, all I have to do is, you know, add the potatoes and pressure cook for 15 minutes at high pressure, and after that I'll mash it and add some cream and butter, ground pepper, salt. That's it. It's a very simple recipe. So for that, I'll be using 4 potatoes. So this is yeah, these are good fresh potatoes that I got yesterday. And so here's my stainless steel pot. So I'm going to, let me keep it here. So first, I don't want the skin, so I'm going to peel off the skin, and then I'm going to add it to the stainless steel pot and pressure cook it. But if you prefer skin, you can keep the skin. Yeah, I don't like the skin in my mashed potatoes, so I'm going to peel off the skin. If you don't have an Instant Pot, you can make this or cook the potatoes in a saucepan. It will take around like 30 to 40 minutes till it's fork tender, and then you can mash it using a potato masher. But in the Instant Pot, at high pressure, it only takes 15 minutes. And I don't have to, you know, I don't have to keep an eye on it. I can add it to the stainless steel pot and then walk away. After 15 minutes, it will be perfectly cooked. So So again, the recipe for making instant pot mashed potatoes is on my blog, so do check it out. Okay, I'm almost done here. So I'm using 4 potatoes. If you're making a large batch, you can add more potatoes. All right, so next to the stainless steel pot. So here's the stainless steel pot. I'm going to half the potato. I think this needs a quick rinse. All right, so next I'm going to half the potato. That's it. And add some water. I'm going to add around ½ cup water to this. You don't have to add a lot of water, just ½ cup water, and season with some ½ teaspoon salt and some ground black pepper. That's it. And next I'm going to place the stainless steel pot into the main pot and pressure cook for 15 minutes at high pressure. So here's my instant pot. So placing the stainless steel pot and close with the lid, and also please ensure to place the sealing ring. So whenever we do pressure cooking, we need to make sure we keep the sealing ring. So selecting the pressure cook setting. So time is set to 15 minutes at high pressure and click start. Okay, that's done. So after 15 minutes, I'll mash the potatoes and add all the other ingredients for making a perfect creamy mashed potatoes. Okay, so that's getting done there. Next, we need to make our cranberry and peach chutney. So for that, we need to cook the cranberries and peach in a saucepan, and it has to cook for at least like 30 to 35 minutes. So let's do that next. So I'm going to take my tripod so you can see. So here's where I'm going to cook the cranberry and peach chutney. Okay, perfect. I hope you guys can see me. Oops. All right, so here's a saucepan. So I'm going to turn on the heat to medium. So to the saucepan, here I have 3 peaches roughly chopped. I'm going to add that. And 1 cup dried cranberries. So we have to add dried cranberries, not the fresh cranberries. So let me bring it a bit closer so you can see. Hey, king of my own kingdom. Hey. So thanks for joining. I'm making Thanksgiving dinner. So this is my live session. So right now I'm going to make cranberry peach chutney. So for that, I have placed a saucepan. I've added 3 peaches diced, 1 cup dried cranberries, 2 dried bay leaves, 2-inch slice whole cardamom, or if you have ground cardamom, you can add like quarter teaspoon, and 1-inch slice ginger. So I'm going to grate the ginger. Now if you don't have ginger, you can skip it. So ginger will give a nice flavor to this chutney. So this is good. So next I have to add half cup apple cider vinegar. So this is the vinegar we have to add, half cup. So measure it and add it. So this is the apple cider vinegar that I'm adding. Do not add white vinegar, because white vinegar is, it has a very intense vinegary taste. And next we have to add 3/4 teaspoon of sugar. So here's my sugar. I'm going to measure it. So 3/4, sorry, not teaspoon, 3/4 cup. So this is 3/4 cup. So adding 3/4 cup. All right. And I'm also going to add, so this chutney, it should have a bit heat to it. So I'm adding half teaspoon chili powder. If you have cayenne pepper, you can add that. If you're adding cayenne pepper, it's very hot, like 1/4 teaspoon should be good. So I have chili powder. It's much milder than cayenne pepper. So mix it up. Ooh, I can smell that apple cider vinegar from this. So perfect. So this is a very simple recipe. All we have to do is throw in all the ingredients into a saucepan and let it cook for like 30 to 35 minutes till everything gets mashed up, and the peach and dried cranberries turn soft, and it's cooking in apple cider vinegar. All right, so this is good. So next, for my Thanksgiving dinner dessert, I'm making pumpkin panna cotta. Yes. So for that, I have to cook pumpkin. So here is 2 big chunks of pumpkin. I'm going to add that to a saucepan and add some water and let it cook, because I want to puree the pumpkins. So here's a small pumpkin that I bought yesterday, and I used around 1/4 portion of this pumpkin. So this is a beautiful pumpkin. This is good for making pies and any kind of desserts. It's very tender. It's a young pumpkin, and it was very easy to chop this. All right, so to the pumpkin, I'm going to add 1 cup water. And cook it. So cover the saucepan and let it cook. Turn on the heat to medium. So let the pumpkin cook till it turns soft. It will take like I think 20 minutes. And even this one, let's cover this, and the heat should be at medium, and let it simmer, let it cook for 30-35 minutes till everything gets mashed up. All right, so things are getting along well here. Okay, so that's what is happening right now. So here is my big bird. I have marinated the turkey. I have allowed it to marinate for an hour. And in the Instant Pot, I have my potatoes. I'm making mashed potatoes in the Instant Pot. So I've added 4 potatoes seasoned with salt, ground pepper. Pressure cooking for 15 minutes. Countdown has started. 14 more minutes. And over here I have cranberry and peach chutney going on. Here I'm cooking pumpkin, and in the oven, as you can see, I have butternut squash getting roasted. So I'll be making butternut squash soup and also roasted butternut squash. So that's happening right now. So that's my prep work. So next, so after the pumpkin has cooked well, I'll start making panna cotta, because it has to, I have to keep that in the refrigerator for an hour to 2 hours to get to set the panna cotta. So I might go and do that first. So next, what I'll be doing, I'll be also roasting asparagus. So here's the asparagus. I'm going to add some more herbs and some spices to this, and then I'll be roasting this. All right, so anyone from Canada, so it's Thanksgiving Day in Canada, and I'm making not a grand but a small Thanksgiving dinner. All right, so I'm going to give a good mix to this. So let it cook. Okay, I'm taking my camera back. Alright guys, so next what I'm going to do is I have to roast the asparagus. So for that, let me clear the space a bit. So here's the asparagus, and I have, keep this. So here's the asparagus. To the asparagus, I've rinsed this really well. I've also cut the ends because it's very tough. So I have cut the ends, and then I'm going to add 4 cloves garlic. Just roughly chop them and add it on the asparagus. And going to season with freshly ground pepper and some salt. Right, so now I'm going to place this in the oven, and so I have to roast this for around 30 to 35 minutes. So my oven is already preheated to 400 degrees Fahrenheit, and right now I'm roasting butternut squash So I'm going to also place this, and then I have to roast asparagus for 30 minutes. So I'm going to keep this. So it's now at, the timer is at 17 minutes right now. After 17 minutes, I'll take the butternut squash out, and then I'll keep the, I'll increase the time for asparagus to 15 more minutes. So that's getting done there. All right, so most of my prep work has completed. So after like 30 more minutes, I'll keep the bird into the oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. I have to roast the turkey for 2.5 to 3 hours. This is a 10 pounds turkey, so it might take longer. Yeah, once the pumpkin is ready, I'll start making pumpkin panna cotta. So let me know, guys, what's your favorite Thanksgiving dessert? I have made pumpkin panna cotta for a few years ago for Thanksgiving, and we loved it. So I wanted to make it again this time. The recipe is on my blog, so check it out. And I know a lot of you guys like pumpkin pie, but I'm gonna make panna cotta. It's very, you know, panna cotta is basically Italian dessert. Panna cotta means cooked cream, so it's very creamy, and it has a very subtle taste. Pumpkin, it doesn't have a lot of taste, right? And I'll be adding pureed pumpkin. It's a very delicate and very, it's an amazing dessert. All right, so that's what I'm gonna do. And butternut squash soup. And my most favorite side dish here is cranberry and peach chutney. It has an amazing taste and flavor. I've added apple cider vinegar to that. So let's see how this will turn out. All right, so my potatoes, 7 more minutes, it will be cooked in the Instant Pot. It's so much easy to make mashed potatoes in the Instant Pot, but if you don't have an Instant Pot, you can use a saucepan and cook in it. All right. So guys, that's my Thanksgiving dinner prep work. So I have to wait for 30 more minutes to have everything everything to have ready. So I'll have another live session after 30 minutes, and I'll show it to you guys how I make butternut squash soup, mashed potatoes, and by that time our cranberry sauce will be ready. I'll show that also, and then pumpkin will be cooked. I'll make pumpkin panna cotta, and then I'll also keep the turkey in the oven. And asparagus will be roasted butternut squash and roasted asparagus will be ready as well. So I'll come after around 30 minutes, right? So thanks everyone, and I'll be back in 30 minutes.